Welcome back, guys, or maybe you're new. Nevertheless, the topic is how to change your genetics at any age. And while we are talking, you may be thinking about these kind of things, like changing your genetics into becoming a pro bodybuilder even though your genetics are subpar, average at best, or maybe even changing your genetics to be musically talented, to have a golden ear, or maybe act like Leonardo DiCaprio. These are all things we would like to change, and that would be awesome to change, but it may not be possible. Kind of changes I'm talking about here, or something like this. Watch this video.
My name is Jacinto Bonilla. I'm 80 years old and I am a CrossFitter. I deadlift 325. I squat 250. I could do 20 unbroken pull-ups. I rope climb, I deadlift, I swim,
I'm talking about changing your genetics in the realm of living longer, being more functional, actually being functional till the day you die, and not dying miserably, but actually a very peaceful death. Some people have younger genes, like this girl on the right. Some people they just look younger. Maybe even myself, you would consider somebody who's looking younger. I'm 21. I actually look like 18. Let's not talk about me. Some people are genetically blessed with having younger genetics. That doesn't mean that anybody else can manage to live at their full potential. By using this method that I'm gonna talk about, you're not going to prolong your maximum potential, but actually live to it. And everybody's max potential is actually much higher than you would anticipate, so it's worth paying attention to. I hope you won't mind I'm wearing these plastic retainers. I need to wear it right now, so it may be somewhat uncomfortable for me to speak, but I needed to record this video, so I hope you don't mind. This science is called epigenetics, and what they do, they actually study the environmental influence on genes. People call it the new biology, something that's new, but it was always there. And some people unintentionally, maybe you know, or have a great grandfather who lived like 100 years. I have personally. He lived 100 years and he didn't know anything. There were no modern medicine. It was all his lifestyle. The main way that environment impacts your genes is DNA methylation. Methylation is basically attaching methyl groups to certain substances in your body. In this case, it would be DNA. How does that have anything to do with environment? You'll see that environment works in various ways to impact where methyl groups are being attached, especially to which DNA molecules. And how does that have anything to do with your prolonging your life? The more methyl groups are attached to a pair of genes, the more suppressed it will be. Imagine like the DNA becomes so overwhelmed that it cannot really work or do anything. You still have the same DNA. You won't change your DNA, but you will choose and select which DNA chromosomes will be working and which would be suppressed. This is cytosine, part of one nucleotide which builds your DNA. On the left side you see normal cytosine, on the right side you have methylated cytosine. So instead of the age group you have CH3. I won't bore you with a lot of chemistry and biology, I just wanted to show you visually so you can just understand how it actually looks like, something like that. So left would be a part of an active gene, and on the right you would be having this as a part of a less active gene. Inactive chromatin and active chromatin. You have a lot of CH3 groups, methyl groups attached on the left chromatin, and on the right not so many, therefore making it more active. So it has been shown to impact diseases such as Alzheimer's, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, allergies, and even cancer. You have genes for all of these suppressors and also boosters. I don't know what they're actually called, but something like that. So some of your genes protect your body and some don't. Some actually push you towards these. So with age, naturally, the genes that are active suppressants of these become shut down. The other ones gets turned on. The ones that actually push you to have these. So what if there was a way to invert these, to actually not let the suppressors go away? What impacts DNA methylation? Three things. The first is food, so basically what you eat. The second is stress. And the third thing is sleep. Three things that impact your DNA methylation, and if you have them all in order, they would know where to put the methyl groups to bad genes and leave the good genes on. The interesting thing to me especially is that these three are actually interlaced, connected. Basically everything's connected to the other. Let's start with food. If you eat bad food, that's going to bring you more stress. Do you agree? More stress to your body, more stress to your mind. Bad food will also make it a lot harder for you to sleep. Also, when you're stressed, let's imagine the food made you stressed, you won't be able to sleep. And if you don't sleep well enough, well, it's much harder to manage stress Do you see how things are interlaced? You have to have all three. You cannot choose one or the other. If you do good in one, they're gonna push you to be better in other, and then the third one. So 3 domains, they're all actually interlaced. So let's first talk about food. 2 important categories that would impact DNA methylation to put the methyl groups into right places. Methyl donors. There are foods that actually are used to build methyl groups, which you will use to impact your genes. If you don't have enough of them, then no methyl groups. Things that basically build them are liver, beans, fish, beets, spinach, egg yolks, lentils, etc. I'll put the full list in the description of all the foods you can eat to impact your methyl production. But what's good are methyl groups if there's nothing to adapt them to specific genes? Who's gonna say if those genes are gonna go to your thermosuppressants or actually boost the sickness promoting genes? Some other type of food which we'll call methylation adaptogens. And those are things like green tea, turmeric, rosemary, apples, berries, etc. And you must have both in order for this to work. Now, why you shouldn't use supplements instead of whole foods? It's basically the same, right? It's just more convenient, you can just pop them and everything. Well, it's not actually the same thing. If you believe it or not, your body knows it's about to consume an apple. It sends a signal to your digestive tract that it should prepare enzymes that need to be there in order for you to fully consume the apple and use all of its benefits and all of its nutrients. If you use a supplement though, you'd use maybe 30, 40, 50% of the supplement actually will get thrown away. But that's not the only bad thing about supplements. The real food is more affordable, provides many nutrients. Both can meet people's needs. It's so hard to overdo it with real food. There is actually a ceiling to hit. You shouldn't consume unlimited amounts of the foods I told you before. But if you do it with food, it's so much harder to overeat and overdose until it becomes a bad thing. But with supplements, it's so easy to do, especially because it's not controlled. In so many cases, they don't actually appear to be consistent with the dosages. It's so easy to get overdosed on your nutrients when you're supplementing. So I'm not saying you should avoid supplements altogether. That shouldn't be the main thing to do. You should always focus on getting the real food first, and then if you're still deficient somehow, because it may actually happen to some of you, you can use the supplements. But that shouldn't be like the first priority, to just pick up supplements when you're bored. So food intake, I'm gonna talk about basically an ideal diet that should happen in a day for you to fulfill to methyl donors, to methyl adaptogens, and also hit different types of genes. So first thing is 4 to 5 cups a day of green, cruciferous, or colorful veggies. So that would be like something like spinach, arugula, and for colorful veggies I would say like carrots. You can think about all kinds of stuff, but it's important to get a variety of these. Green veggies and also colorful veggies do not do the same thing, so you should have some variety and get to 4 to 5 cups a day, which may sound a lot. I want you to look at it this way. Don't look at this diet as like I have to hit it, and if I miss one of these things, it's basically all over, I will be unhealthy. Eat as close to this as possible. This is a perfect day of eating that I'm gonna show you. If you can do it perfectly, good, but don't stress about it. Next thing is 3 to 4 ounce servings of clean animal protein a day. You don't need to eat it like 2 times, you can just eat a whole 6 to 8 ounce meal. And if you weigh 175 and more, which will be for men, which you probably should as a grown-ass man, I'm joking, like if you weigh more than 175, you would do like 5 to 6 ounce animal protein meals per day. Turkey, chicken, beef. 1 to 2 half-cup servings of beans and legumes per day. And this is something like that's optional. Some people can't really process beans and legumes, it makes them inflammatory, but if it doesn't bother you, yeah, eat them, of course. Keep dairy to a minimum. This is very important because dairy, and most pasteurized dairy, which is basically 95% of stuff you buy, really hard for your body to digest. And they say like lactose intolerant. Some people may have better time doing these things, but nobody actually benefits from just consuming that dairy. Maybe raw milk, I haven't tried that stuff, raw milk, raw kefir. I'll try to get it, but it's illegal in many states in the United States and many countries around the world, unless you get it directly from a farmer. So that's kind of inconvenient and it's not on a daily basis. It may be hard for you, so start just reducing the amount. Like, it's not the same if we eat 3 ounces a day or 15 ounces a day of cheese, for example, from Walmart. It's not the same, of course. It's not 1 or 0. You need to find the balance between that works for you. Max half a cup of greens per day. This is actually like a limit. It would be best if you don't eat it, try to keep it max half a cup, which I know is small quantity. Not exactly go for a half cup. Go for a cup if you're eating like 5 cups. If you go to a cup, yeah, that's a great progress, man. Just keep lowering it down. 1/4 cup of both sunflower and pumpkin seeds per day. For me, I like chew onto something is like, if you don't like it, just try doing a few tablespoons a day of these. They have amazing benefits, both of these on their own. A lot of benefits, which I'm not gonna talk about now, but 5 to 10 eggs a week. An egg enthusiast, I eat like 3 to 4 eggs a day, so that's actually a lot more than this suggestion. So I think this is just a recommendation that you should actually at least 5 eggs. 1 3-ounce serving of liver per week. That's crazy kinda, isn't it? But liver is so much different than normal animal protein from muscles of animals. If you ask the new scientists pushing this diet and lifestyle. 3 medium beets, not gonna explain. It's amazing for your blood. Nobody eats them. It's not a part of a regular diet nowadays. Hydration. This is basically the formula. You're gonna use your body weight in pounds, half that thing to 100 pounds, you cut it to 100 pounds and turn it into ounces, so 100 ounces. If you need more, drink more, but you should never feel dehydrated. Ruins your whole progress with all of these things. No matter if you eat all of these things, it's important to hydrate, which, by the way, I'm gonna do right now. I've been talking a lot and this plastic in my mouth is killing me. Fast 12-12. Some people do 16-8. Intermittent fasting. If you don't know what fasting is, you just don't eat in a certain period of time. So you don't eat throughout the whole day like little snacks and everything. Have a period where you're completely abstaining from everything except for water. If you can go for even more hours than 12, that's good. But this will be like a bare minimum for you to do, and you would get the most benefits from this. So if you want to push it for 16 hours, 20-hour fast even, it may become like a full-time job for you. Also great benefits of focus and everything on your work. You're gonna do better, and it's important to keep consistent. 100% fact here. No food will be able to negate the effects of stress, which comes to the fact how to battle stress. We're all stressed out, modern times, COVID-19 hit, pandemic, everything. The world is not the same as it used to be. We must admit that. And let's talk about how to battle stress. I've been having this battle for a long time, and since I started self-improvement, caring about myself and my mind, I've become a much healthier person, and I've tried a few techniques. So first one, mindfulness. I'm talking about meditation. This is not a thing that will happen fast. You cannot, like, I'll show you how to meditate right now and you'll actually become like a less stressed person tomorrow. It's not gonna happen that fast. It's like a continuous thing that needs to be practiced for at least a minute a day. Set your expectations low. In my experience with meditation, you cannot like put yourself to do like 10 minutes a day, and if you miss it once, you miss it for the next week. I was doing that because I was a consistent freak. I need to do it every day. If I miss this one day, I'm gonna like drown or something. Even if you miss one day, it's not that bad, but you should keep your expectations low. For example, a minute of meditation a day, you can keep that, right? In the morning, you might probably have some more time, 2-3 minutes, then do it for 3 minutes. You should keep at least 1 minute, but then do as much as you can that particular day if you have time. The way mindfulness works in battling stress is you actually become aware of your thoughts. What this actually means in the terms of stress. Stress for me is basically overwhelming feeling of your thoughts. If you're overthinking, like people who overthink tends to stress a lot more. So how mindfulness works is you become aware of every single thought. Once you practice meditation, you become aware of every single thought that appears in your mind. Once you feel overwhelmed during a day, somebody argues with you, whatever, you're gonna be actually aware that what is happening. You're gonna say, oh my God, I'm not gonna react to this. I'm just gonna chill. I won't be stressed. Something more direct to battle stress would be breathwork. Not the same, because here you will be focusing on actually realistic things that will push your body into the mode of relaxation. The technique you see drawn out here is called the physiological sigh. It has been proven to reduce stress at the moment you do it. So it's not actually consistent work. Here you can just do it and you're gonna feel the benefits immediately. So maybe you should start with this first. I would of course advise you to do both of these because they're gonna give you different benefits. It's not the same. But breathwork is actually gonna, like this. If you feel stressed right now, you can do this exercise right now. You inhale right through your nose. One regular breath. Then once you reach the top, then you inhale once again, small little breath. It's actually gonna feel a little uncomfortable, but it's gonna open your lungs fully, like your alveoli and everything. So like this. And then a long exhale through the mouth. What that actually does is it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is designed to lower your body stress, to lower the adrenaline levels, cortisol levels, and everything. So as long as your exhale is longer than your inhale, let's say your inhale is like this, exhale like this. As long as the duration of your exhale is longer than inhale, you're gonna activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and it's actually gonna lower your stress down. And you can do this for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Repeating this exercise, you're gonna lower the stress immediately. The third thing that will help you battle stress, nothing other than quality sleep. And I told you that this is related to stress. If you sleep well, then it's actually much harder to get stressed out. Quality sleep, good quality sleep, which you should get 7 to 9 hours minimum. I've been researching sleep the most, how to sleep well and everything. I've been studying it a lot for a few years, trying trials, tribulations, bad sleeps, good sleeps. And I've noticed a particular pattern. There are two things that stop people from sleeping well. The first things are environmental influences. There are a few things I'm referring to here. So these are the things that you do on a daily basis that consume your environment, makes it for you, and your body makes it much harder to fall asleep. The first thing is light. Viewing light at the right time and not viewing it at the wrong time will actually give your body the signal that it's time to fall asleep. The next thing, temperature. If you feel hot at the night, it will be much harder to fall asleep. Also, if you feel cold in the morning, it will be much harder to feel awake. The third thing is adenosine. That's basically a chemical neurotransmitter in the brain that gets built up throughout the day more and more. The more it builds up, the more it suppresses your central nervous system, making it easier for you to fall asleep. Apart from these three, we have something other called fight or flight. You may have actually experienced in your life a situation where you were feeling so tired, your body is telling you go sleep, but you can't. Why is that? Because you're stressed. You're stressed, you're not allowing your body to relax. In order for you to fall asleep, your fight or flight might actually be completely off. So what might cause you stress? Maybe something overwhelming happened at the night, so that's why you should avoid talking like deep topics with people or doing any kind of work, because it's gonna stress you out, start thinking about so many things. You should wind up. Maybe you were watching some horror movie that's kind of unsettling. And the third thing that might happen is you're actually focusing too hard on sleep. So you need to find the balance between caring about environmental influences but also not stressing too much, like okay, I'm focused fully on sleeping and everything. If you start focusing on sleep too early in the day and thinking about sleep all the time, it's going to be much harder for you to fall asleep in the evening, and that's what we call insomnia. Scientists and doctors today talk about it a lot and actually make it appear as if it's like something so uncurable. Some people actually may have genes that are making them more likely to be a victim of insomnia. My guess would be, according to this whole new biology, maybe if you live right, maybe those genes would get turned off and suppressed. I don't know, that's just a pure hypothetical. What can you do about sleep? You can either go learn everything on the web. There's everything. You need to just try tribulations. It will take some time to perfect sleep. And if you don't want to lose time, then you can have my program, Perfect Sleep in 3 weeks, or I'll pay for a session with another sleep expert. So basically, what you need, you're gonna go work with me one-on-one. I'll customize your schedule. We're gonna talk. We're gonna see how you can optimize your schedule for sleep and not stress also too much about it. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna pay for a session with another sleep expert. Either way, you're gonna get to the same goal, perfected sleep, and you're gonna do it much faster than if you just try to roll me in by yourself. So first thing that I'm including is how to pass out after laying down. Basically the most important thing, and the whole program is tailored towards it. But we have some other things. So as I've said, there's a custom routine that won't feel like a chore to you. You won't be needing to like do too much stuff. You're gonna have a lifelong access to a sleeping community. I've created a community. We talk about sleep because sleep is a never-ending like complex situation. It's so complex that you're maybe actually gonna run into some new problems. You're gonna always see people asking new questions and me and other people replying to what worked for them. So that's such a nice thing that you will actually benefit a lot from, because you'll never stop learning. So including some bonuses, for example, effective exercise for terminating neck pain and strengthening posture. You may be someone who's struggling with this, so that's actually a nice little bonus which relates to your sleeping. If your neck is not in a lot of pain, make you be in a better mood throughout the day and also fall asleep easier at night. Another one I have is tips to boost your productivity. Sleep and productivity are pretty much correlated. Boost your productivity, but also make it easier for you to fall asleep. And if you fall asleep better, be even more productive. I decided to put it in because you could do much more work in an hour being productive than 4 hours jumping in and out. This is not the final product. You can visit the link in the description and see the whole thing as it is. This is just still in the building process. I'm still trying to build more value into it, so it actually becomes a shit ton of value for not so much money, and you get to improve sleep, boost your productivity. I want to add even more stuff so it becomes really valuable and meaningful for people to buy. What you can buy instead of this program. There's just a little like salesy page, you know, when they're showing you. I just wanted to show you what things you can actually buy. If you didn't decide to buy this program and you really wanted to improve sleep, what can you buy? So you can go 2 times to the restaurant. Oh, that's basically the worst, the worst way to spend this money. You can have coffee every day for a month. Maybe you enjoy it. It's a nice thing. Or maybe even get a new shoes. If you don't have shoes, you can get new shoes, or you can get those, even if you have 5 pairs, you can get new shoes. Also AirPods, if you don't have them, they're pretty useful. You can work with them and everything. And or a 1-year PlayStation Plus, if you want to play games, you can play online, you can play those monthly games, whatever. So you have all these things, and on the other hand, you have sleep. So you can get one of these things, or you can finally be done with your sleeping problems and actually boost fat loss, if that's something that interests you, increase work productivity, more energy throughout the day. If you're feeling sleepy all the time, you're gonna be having a lot more energy to push and do meaningful work. Whether you're employed or working for yourself, you have a business, you'll be in a better mood, of course. When you sleep, less stress, everything, more dopamine, and you'll live longer. That's basically the whole point of this video. So you can decide. Check out the link in the description. It's totally okay if you're not interested. I just had to put this thing so I'll help some of you, not all of you. So basically the whole recap of this video. First, DNA methylation can influence genes. Those methyl groups get attached and they turn off genes, and they get detached from good genes and make it more active. Food and lifestyle, which is related to stress and sleep, will determine which genes get turned on and off. Food can both create methyl groups and adapt them to your genes. And stress and sleep will both influence methylation on their own, as well as make it harder for you to eat the right food. Stress will turn on some bad genes, sickness promoting ones, as well make it harder for you to eat the right food. If you feel stressed, if you didn't have a good sleep, then it's much more likely than you opt for like McDonald's or something, for some takeout that's not very healthy with a lot of cereals and processed food, or instead making your food at home, nice chicken, salad, eggs. So that's the whole recap. Think about this. This is really important. Do you want to live longer? Do you want to see your grandkids? Imagine like being that cool grandpa or ma, being their idol. They're like, oh my god, how is grandpa still like doing pull-ups? Imagine like that, like you're 92 and still being fully able to move while other people are slouching in their 70s. So I hope I motivated some of y'all. Check out the description and I'll see you in the next video.